warms up, it's gonna be going deeper.
Right.
I would encourage people to go buy a thermometer and check their water.
Yeah.
And they said anything under 40, and mine's running 36.
That's
I got a
okay.
nice
You
thermometer.
should be.
And I'm running water, yes.
Yeah.
And,
I spent probably half an hour just before I came down here talking to Dick Weber. And that was one of the things that he said. Evidently, they've had problems in Manchester too. I think at the fire station. I'm not sure. But I think for, the people, we've been seeing a lot of emails go back and forth, and I don't know how people decide that they should run it or if they're just scared. But like Don says, Dick suggested you can turn your cold water on, let it run for 15, 20 minutes, however long, kind of clean out everything and measure the temperature. And if it's, 38, 40 degrees, start running it. And he actually said, because I've been seeing in some of the communications a trickle or this or that, he said that really as big as your little finger, or, they were talking about a cigarette and then this, but really it's more than a trickle that people should be running it at. But I think that is one thing that people can do for themselves, is to measure the temperature of their water and see where it's at.
And then if they find it's that low, do they need to contact the Light and Power? Is that the deal? Or get on the list of people who are running their water?
I would suggest that.
I mean, get on. You don't know how it's going to all shake out.
Right.
but-
We can't guarantee anything, but what we can guarantee
Right.
is that it'll be looked at if you call up and get your name put on the list, and at least we'll know, who's doing it.
I think this is where the Public Works Committee becomes involved. I think the first step was to warn people, which the city has done, and I think very, very nicely has done. I think now it's going to be up to the Public Works Committee to get together, find out what other communities are doing, come back to the City Council with some recommendations that way. That's what I think we should probably.
Well, and it may be such a thing, we may have to wait a little while before we make a final decision, because we still got some cold weather coming. We don't know if we decide now, it could get even worse or more, and we need to get a better idea of what we're dealing with and what kind of money we're dealing with, and because the money's still going to have to come from somewhere.
something I think Steve mentioned too, and I hadn't heard that till today, and then I thought back, that's what happened to me, is you'll start getting rusty water, and you better look out because it's coming. And I guess it was on the TV, somebody heard that, and apparently freezes at the side and it breaks loose or something.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you find rusty water, and we had some that would come out red. Actually, it was that bad. So our pipes are over 100 years old, so that's probably part of it. But anyway, that's a indication too, you got problems coming. So I guess that's all we can do, is warn the people and call the city and maybe they'll refer you give you some answers or something. So thank you.
And it's not like we're ignoring the citizens. We understand
No,
how difficult
good.
this
And I
is going
want
to
them
be
to know
for
that.
them, and so, yeah.
Appreciate the time.
That's for sure. Thank you for bringing that up. Carter, would you like to go next?
Sure. I wanted to publicly thank Steve Deers for the opportunity I've had to work with him for the last 4 years, and it's been my pleasure. I've learned a lot more from him, I'm sure, than he from me. But it's been a great experience.